So this video is all about light control. So I will show you step by step how I use these 4 speed lights to highlight shape, form, texture, and depth in order to create this image. So hi everyone, this is Jiggie, a portrait and wedding photographer from the Philippines, and welcome to the channel. So before anything else, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel and would want to learn more about off-camera flash photography or maybe just photography in general, then this channel may be for you. So you might want to consider subscribing, and while you're at it, click that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to see more of my images, you could always find me on Instagram. It's at Jiggie Alejandrino. Okay, so what is this scene that we are shooting today? Actually, it's a combination of 2 of my passions. One obviously is photography, and number 2 is collecting shoes. And the shoe that we're shooting today is a recent pickup. Shout out to Soul Academy, where I got this pair from. It's a Salehe Bembury collaboration with New Balance entitled Water Be the Guide. So we are lighting it now specifically, meaning lighting it in certain areas only using 4 speed lights. You might think it's overkill, but proper control of lights, even with portrait photography, is the key to proper lighting. In other words, all 4 lights will be serving a specific purpose, in which I will show you guys later what it does. But I just want to go through all the equipment first before we do that. So the first one is Sony f45RM mounted on a Manfrotto tabletop tripod. I have here another f45RM here in the back, but this time it's mounted on a MagMod mag shoe with a mag grip and the mag snoot. Again, it's all about light control. So the snoot will really give a nice beam of light for me to be able to light just certain portions here. Now here I have a Sony f60RM again on the MagMod mag shoe, but this time I have a mag beam installed, and inside we have the MagMod mag mask. Now this mag mask is what they call the Dream, but I particularly chose this because the pattern it creates looks like ripples of water, which is perfect because this shoe is called Water Be the Guide. And finally, we have here the Sony f60RM that's just bouncing on top, just bouncing upwards for this towards the ceiling to create a nice overall flat light. Okay, so my camera now. So the camera that I'm using is my Sony a7R Mark IV, and the lens is a 24-70 2.8 GM. Now, why am I not using a macro lens? Because if I were to use a macro lens for a scene this big, then the camera would have to be like over here. And at the same time, the 24-70, to be honest, also acts like a macro lens because it has the ability for close focusing. So more often than not, for product photography, I have to use a 24-70 unless I am shooting something really small and I really have to go macro and I want the 1:1 ratio. Okay, now all my flash units are actually controlled on camera using this one. This is my Sony WRC1M remote commander, and whatever it is that you're seeing now is a live view, or basically what my camera is seeing, because I am recording a live feed from here to this one. This is my Atomos Ninja V. Okay, so let's go on the settings of the camera. Right now, the camera is set at 1/250 f5.6 ISO 100. The reason why I did that is because the moment I turn off my trigger, it will now enable live view, and it will show you what my actual exposure really is. So when I turn it off, you can actually see now that it is pitch black. And again, every image that you're seeing the moment I start shooting is straight out of the camera unless stated otherwise. So anyway, so this is pitch black. In other words, everything that you will be seeing the moment I click the shutter will be light coming from my flash. None of this ambient light is being picked up by my sensor now. Okay, so the moment I turn on my flash, it will disable live view so that I can see what I am shooting. Okay, so now last is white balance. White balance, I am setting it at 5600 Kelvin because these flash units are rated at 5600 Kelvin. Okay, so now let's go on to what every specific flash is doing. Oh, another thing, the nice thing about the Sony WRC1M is that I can actually control all my flash units from the back of the camera. Let's turn off all the flash units first, except for group A. Flash off, flash off, flash off, and we'll leave group A. So group A is this light here. The purpose of this light is to create a nice overall light, but I want that light to be underexposed. In other words, this is not my main light. This is technically my fill light to be able to open up the shadows. And let's see how it looks like the moment we take one test shot. There we go. So at 1/16th power from this S60RM bouncing off the ceiling, that is the image that you're actually getting. Let's take one more shot for you guys to see it again. There we go. That's what you're gonna get, okay? So now let me turn off group A and turn on group B, which is set at 1/8 power, less 2/3 of a stop, and group B is this one. Group B is the F60RM now with the pattern. So this one is the one that serves as our main light. Okay, let's see what it does. There we go. It creates a nice ripple effect that really works well with the theme of the shoot. So now let's turn on group A together with group B so you could see how both lights combine. As you can see, group A opens up the shadow so that you could see more details around, but still this one is still your main light, which is group B. Now let's turn off group A again and turn off group B so you could see what group C is doing. Group C is this one. So as you can see, I got this from Soul Academy. Shout out again to these guys. And I wanted to highlight their logo in this shoot. Okay, so that is group C now. So group C is just highlighting, is meant to highlight the name of Soul Academy. Okay, so now let's turn on group A and group B so you could see how everything goes together. There we go. So now you could see that Soul Academy is there. Now, another thing with this particular shoot, of course, is that the name of the designer said Salehe Bembury and Water Be the Guide is in this area. So I have a snoot here now in order for it to light up this area, which I set at group C. So again, let's turn off group A, group B, group C, and just turn on group D. Okay, group D now is set at 1/128th power, and all it's going to do is really just open up this area here. There we go. Okay, so all of these things that we are doing today is really just to be able to create shape, form, texture, and depth. You get that by highlighting certain areas. You've got highlights, you've got your midtones, and of course, you've got your shadows. As compared to this one now with the existing ambient light that you can see, it's actually very nice as is, but the issue with me is that it feels very flat. It doesn't give like that pop, that 3D pop. Okay, so now let's turn on all these lights and see how it will turn out. Okay, there we go. Beautiful photograph. And this is straight out of camera. So basically, again, this light here lit up Soul Academy. This light here gave that water-looking reflection, but at the same time, I also positioned it in such a way that it would highlight certain areas of the shoe, because again, this is the star of the show, but at the same time, I wanted the box scene. And then I have this one, which is just bouncing light off the ceiling in order for me to open up the shadows. Then I have this particular snoot here on the left side, just lighting up this area here so that we're getting some separation from that, okay? So if you guys have any questions with regards to the light setup here on the thought process behind it, or any question that you may have, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And of course, if you did enjoy this video, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And while you're at it, click that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to see some of my images or more of my images, feel free to follow me on Instagram. It's at Jiggie Alejandrino. Okay, till the next video.